All right, Sean Zattel, FightHype.com here with the great Eddie Hearn, visiting all the way from England for Canelo versus Callum Smith. Eddie, is this a little tough to see who you want to win? I mean, if Canelo wins,
yeah, I guess when he became a free agent, Canelo, I had two hats on. One was a DAZN hat. Imagine if I could bring him back to the platform. And then the other one was, imagine if I could get the fight for Callum Smith and the opportunity. So we've been with Callum Smith from his professional debut. There's only one person I want to win this fight, and that's Callum Smith, of course. But I have a huge amount of respect for Canelo and Eddie right now, so I think they're great. And when you think, they're just potting around on their own, those guys. Mm-hmm. When you get to know them, actually, they're just two guys that are chasing a dream to be great. And it's quite refreshing. There's no, they've been so good to deal with. And sometimes you hear the rumours, these guys are difficult and that, and they've just been a pleasure to deal with. And I'm just really pleased that we can end this year. Within 7 days we've done AJ, Golovkin and Canelo. Mm-hmm. So to end the year in that respect is fantastic. And it's important for boxing, because I think boxing is under pressure right now to deliver.
Do you think Canelo made a wise move in leaving guaranteed money at DAZN to kind of go on the journey he's going now, which is...
I think if you back yourself, even I don't know all the ins and outs of that situation, and I'm sure there was many reasons for it,
right,
from everybody's position. But I think what he wanted was the freedom of being able to make his own decisions. And I've always tried, when I deal with a star, to give people that freedom. Mm-hmm. They're the boss. Do you know what I mean? I work for Anthony Joshua. He's my boss. Right? I've no problem, no ego, saying, because
they're going to resent it if you don't, right?
But ultimately, he's the star. I'm lucky to be there.
Right.
I've done a good job for him, but he makes the decisions. He's the boss, and I work for him. And I think fighters, they don't want to be part of, when they reach that pinnacle, they don't want to be part of a factory or a, just a system where they conform. They want to be creative. They want to take chances in different territories and take challenges and do their own thing. And this has enabled him to do that. And I'm a big believer, I've never been the kind of guy that buttons people down to 5-year contracts, mm-hmm, and ties them up and wraps them around. I say, look, if we want to work together, you want to work together. If you don't like me, if you don't like us, then we shake hands and you walk away. But I've never really had that happen. Once a fighter works with us, generally we've got a great track record that they stay with us forever. Or mm-hmm, if not, very rarely does anyone want to leave. And that's really the situation with him. He wanted to take control of his own destiny. When he looks at Matchroom, he probably goes, okay, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Gennady Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs, obviously he's boxed, Demetrius Andrade, all that's my next 3 years. Mm-hmm. So I think people just want not an easy life, but they want it to be straightforward. I tell you I'm going to do this, I deliver. You tell me you're going to do that, you deliver. And we work together for everyone's best interest. So it's actually been incredible dealing with him and Eddie, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I've heard stories, this and that, and actually it's all bullshit, because they're so straightforward. As long as you deliver what you promise you're going to deliver, no problem.
No diva label
not
there.
Not at all.
Right.
It's them two. They're just rocking around the hotel, you know what I mean?
Chepo's not even here, poor guy.
So, it's a great partnership.
So are you in the mind state that next fight he wants to fight a PBC guy? That's fine. If the fight after that you want to come back,
basically,
look, you come back to match
with the two hats on. The hat is Callum Smith win on Saturday.
Yes.
If he doesn't win, I want to work with Canelo Alvarez long term. Of course, who wouldn't? But I think that it's important that he doesn't tie himself somewhere long term. I think what he wants to do is, so I'll fight Golovkin or Saunders in May, but maybe in September, October, I fight Plant for the Undisputed on Fox pay-per-view. And I think I have the ability to do that, because I think with the DAZN situation, I think we can just do our fight-by-fight stuff. And DAZN now have a global product, which is really fascinating. So it's all these fights can be seen globally on the app. Okay, and that's a bigger picture to them, mm-hmm, than just the US market. So I think he's in a great position, but he has to win. This is a very tough fight, very dangerous fight, especially in this environment. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a really good fight.
You know, with Callum Smith, stylistically, this should be a great fight.
Yeah, I agree.
But, you know, at 6'3", unlike Kovalev, doesn't fight tall.
He's 6'5", to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean,
But even with all those inches, doesn't really fight tall like Kovalev does. You know, stylistically, him trying to bang with Canelo, is that a bad style matchup for Callum?
I think he needs to. I think to beat Canelo Alvarez, you have to put a dent in him. You can't just box for 12 rounds. It's not going to work. He's going to walk you down. He's going to put pressure on you. He's going to catch up with you.
That's
what
Kovalev
done. He decided. Kovalev's a big puncher, but he decided not really to take risks against Canelo Alvarez. Callum will take risks. Callum is here to win. He's not going, do you know what, if I just sort of get through 12 rounds, see what happens, and wow, my stock will really rise. He's going, my chance, Saturday, I'm going to take it. I'm going to let them go when I get the opportunity. That's also dangerous. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But you can't have the fear. You know, when you look at Triple G, first guy really to say, actually, I'm not going to let you be aggressive. I'm not going to box off the back foot from you and let you walk me down. That was Canelo Alvarez. And then Derevyanchenko did it. Right? Against Canelo, you have to do the same thing. Liam Smith tried to do it, but he didn't quite have the firepower, where Callum does have the firepower and he does have the size. You know, he sort of stood in the pocket with him. He tried, he threw back, you know. But you need to have more than that. You need to have more power. And Callum has the power. But Canelo is brilliant. Brilliant fighter. I mean, pound for pound, number one. I mean, I was up there on the stage. I'm a fan, like a bit of a fanboy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, fucking hell.
I think even Callum is.
I know. But he's cool with it. He knows he knows he deserves to be it, Callum Smith. You know, he's not in awe of Canelo, but he respects him.
But I know you understand, obviously, what I'm getting at is that, you know, stylistically, is it that's it, like you said, it's his best chance to win. You know, put something on him and come to fight. But is that against a shorter guy who can get under? You know,
I mean, unless you're just an awkward guy like an Esrandi Lara, someone like that,
a mover, guys.
Who, but that's not Callum, and there's not many fighters out there that Callum is going to try and put a dent in him. He's not going to be reckless. He's going to box. He's going to use his attributes. He's going to use his long jab, but he has to hurt him. You can't just fiddle around with Canelo Alvarez. You've got to get some respect from him. I feel like Daniel Jacobs. If Daniel Jacobs wouldn't have struggled at the weight like he did, you know, I think that Canelo had respect for Jacobs' power, and he sort of was cautious in that fight. And he was cautious against Kovalev. I don't think he'll be as cautious in this fight.
Right, because I think those were fine fights, but I think that was a concern. It was like, you know, against Canelo and Jacobs, both guys were fighting at 80-90%. But this fight, it sounds like you think this is a war.
I do.
And not just promoter, like stylistically.
I think
right?
it has to be, because I think Canelo's going, I want to feel his power early, right? I don't want him to just jab me and move, and I want to mix it up early. I think Canelo needs to fight like he did against Fielding, which was just basically maraud forward and just walk him down. The difference is Callum punches a lot harder than Rocky Fielding, and Rocky's a good fighter, but Callum is don't forget, Callum Smith knocked out Rocky Fielding in a round, right?
To Canelo 3.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying it's the levels of fight, and Rocky's a good fighter, but Callum is a pound for pound top fighter, and I think he's going to have a real go.
And ultimately, what are the bookies overlooking with Callum, though? I know you touched on some of it.
I don't even think they overlook anything. I think they just rate Canelo Alvarez so highly. You know, it's like, it's not like, I mean, his fight with Ryder was close, but outside of that, he's not really lost a round in his pro career. He's never been down. He's never been hurt. He's never been beaten. So, and really, John Ryder's a great fighter, but Callum was like, I know when I made that fight, Callum was like, is there no bigger fights? I just want a massive fight, and now he's got it. So I like everything I'm seeing from him, but the proof will be in the pudding on Saturday.
Do you feel like Canelo's taking on the top 68, or
yes,
do you
I do.
over
I do.
Benavidez and Plant?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I do, and you know the amazing thing about Canelo is he could have fought anyone. I mean, don't forget he was mandated to fight Yildirim.
Right.
And he had offers to fight Yildirim. He had offers from everybody to fight loads of different people. But he went, Callum Smith's Ring Magazine champ. He's the one, I want to fight him. Let's not forget, last year, he boxed Daniel Jacobs, the world middleweight champion. in his next fight, he stepped up and boxed the world light heavyweight champion. And then after that, now he's boxing the world super middleweight champion. I mean, it's a proper run, isn't it? You know, and that's a throwback fighter.
Do you think any part of the Reynosos, you know, being the great matchmakers they are, that they saw Plant and that he's a mover, and that they decided to go with Smith instead of Plant?
They probably felt that it was a more exciting fight.
Yeah.
But I think, don't want to blow our trumpet, I think they wanted to work with us. I think we got on really well. We showed them a deal and we showed them a way forward. And I think they took the run with us, you know, and we thank him for that. You know, I thank them for giving Callum the opportunity. Even though he's the number one in the division, it is when you fight Canelo, you're getting the chance.
Outside of a rematch, should the fight be so good, people just want to see that again. Would you like to match the winner if you're a part of it with a Plant or a Benavidez in a unification?
With Saunders. I mean,
Saunders,
Saunders is the WBO champion. That's a much easier fight for us to make.
Right.
I do rate Caleb Plum. I do rate him. I don't think he's that exciting, no disrespect, but he's a very good fighter. He's fighting Truex.
Him and Saunders would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because both boxers.
Yeah.
But
Might not be interesting. But Truex he's fighting, isn't
yes.
he? You know, I like Caleb Truex.
I was hoping it would have been Eubank Jr. instead.
That's a better fight.
Yeah.
But I guess Charlo will fight Eubank Jr.
Hopefully that's what happens next. But
So we'll see.